Hey everyone, welcome to the Mind of Ro page. So today I'm going to speak about Eshu. If you've been following my videos for a while, you'll realize every single time I speak on the Orishas, I always say Eshu needs to eat first. But I've never made an Eshu, I made an Eshu video, but I never made a video like I make all the videos for the other Orishas. So he is actually one of the most important Orisha to learn how to work with if you would like to work with any of the Orishas. So let's talk about Eshu. Eshu is the divine messenger. His name could also be known as Elegba or Elegwa, or I'm sure you heard of Papa Legba. So the makeup that I'm currently wearing right now is actually from the movie, or not the movie, but the show American Horror Story. So if you ever watched that show, I'm a fan. I kind of just started watching it recently, but if you were a fan, recently one of the seasons that's actually on Netflix right now of American Horror Story, they actually had Papa Legba show up on the show. So I'm going to get into that story here in a little bit, but this is what the makeup is. And this is why I did my makeup this way, is because this is the way Hollywood or the way TV and Netflix has portrayed Papa Legba. So this is why I'm wearing this makeup. Of course, he literally doesn't look like this, but just to get everyone's kind of attention and familiarity, if you ever heard of him, this is what he's portrayed as online. So before I get started, if you love my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Mind of Ro, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I have more magic and love to share with you. So let's move on. Papa Legba's original name is actually Eshu. So the unique function of Eshu is to translate the language of humans into the language of nature, and to translate the language of nature into the language of humans. He is associated with the colors red and black, the number 3, and the crossroads. The best offers to offer him are rum, cigars, candy, and pennies. So when I say make offers, what I mean is if you like to make a request for Eshu or ask for a favor, you always want to not just take, you always give first. So therefore the best place to make offers for Eshu or Elegba or Papa Legba would be at the crossroads. Now I mean crossroads as in a 4-way stop, not a 3-way, always a 4-way stop. Because a 3-way is kind of an energy you don't want to deal with. You want to deal with the 4-way stop. It has to do with the 4 directions, and this is what Eshu represents. So always go to a 4-way stop when you're making offers to Eshu, Elegba, or Papa Legba. So here are just a little warnings about Eshu really quick. So Eshu can be considered a hot spirit, and he is known to be a trickster. So do know that the best thing to say when you approach Eshu is to say, don't confuse me, just confuse my enemies, because he is known to confuse you, and you don't want to be confused when you speak to him. So just a heads up to know who you're dealing with when you do approach Eshu, is you don't want to be confused. So let's make sure you let him know that you do not want to be confused, and the only ones he should be confused are your enemies, and that you are the one that serves him and your enemies don't. Therefore you don't have to deal with that so much. And for future reference, if you do end up working with Eshu a lot, it's always good to say that on a regular basis, just so to make sure that he helps keep clear communication within your life. And that's actually leading to my next question. So, well, why would you contact Eshu? Because like in all my other videos, I always state in all my Orisha videos that if you make any offers to any of the Orishas, and in this case also the Loa, you always want to feed Eshu first, or Elegba or Papa Legba. In this case, let's just talk about Eshu. I'm just gonna say Eshu from now on. Okay, I know some people say Elegwa, so but right now I'm just gonna call him Eshu, so you know who I'm talking about. But the reason why you would contact him is because he translates language. If you want your offers to be received on the other side and your request to be heard on the other side, Eshu is the translator. As in, when you speak through Eshu, he helps whatever message that you want the other side to receive. He makes sure that your answer or your questions or your words are being heard on the other side. And this is why you always want to work with Eshu first before ever working with any other Orisha. And also because if you want him to open any doorways for you of communication, you want to give him an offer, as in the offers that I just listed here recently: rum, cigars, pennies, candy, etc., and stuff like that. That way, whenever you do want any work or favors done on the other side, Eshu is going to open that doorway for you, because he is the door opener and he is a crossroad deity. As in, if you want doors to open for anything in your life, not only clear communication with the other side, but clear communication with other human beings. Let's say you have a lot of misunderstandings with people, friends, family, strangers, co-workers, stuff like that. That means you have a lot of imbalanced Eshu energy around you. Therefore, if you would like to have more clarity in conversation so you don't have to deal with a lot of miscommunications, making offers to Eshu would actually help with that as well. And he's known as one of the main warrior spirits in African spirituality, and also Hispanic spirituality as well. They call him Elegba from their version. So he is one of the main warrior spirits. When I say warrior spirits, as in he protects you. He keeps chaos away from your life, but he could also bring chaos in your life as well if you are a disrespectful person or have a disrespectful soul. Therefore, it's good to always be very respectful when approaching Elegba or Eshu, because he is the king of confusion, and you do not want to be confused. You want to have clarity in your life. If you have any situation, or if you're going through anything in your life that you're confused about, let's say if you're not sure which direction you want to go, or you're just confused about why everything in the planet right now is happening, and you want some clarity on not only your life, but the energy that is amongst us on this planet or in this dimension right now, then asking Eshu or speaking to Eshu is one of the best ways to get some clarity. Because he has to do with confusion, he also has to do with clarity. So if you need clarity on anything in your life, anything on the planet, the universe, he is a very, very old spirit. He's been existing far beyond this planet and you and I have ever been in existence. Therefore, he knows all kinds of things and he will teach you. And if you're a respectful person and respect Eshu, he will teach you things as well. So, like I was saying earlier, here's another reason why you would contact him, is because he is a door opener. Therefore, he could actually open doorways for you that have to do with success in your life. So maybe you want to have a healthy relationship. Maybe you want to have a better job. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to just have a better understanding of things. Because he's a doorkeeper, he actually opens and closes those doors. So if you feel like you keep trying in your life to try to live life, and you feel like doors just keep slamming in your face and shutting, that actually means Eshu, you have issues in your life. So if you want doors to open up for you to more opportunities, then Eshu and communicating with Eshu is going to be the #1 way to get those doors open. My personal experience with Eshu is, I've had a lot of experience with Eshu. I've spent 2 whole weeks meditating on all the roads of Eshu. We're about to get into that here in a minute, but there's different roads of Eshu, as in different characteristics and different things that he could do. And I spent 2 weeks every single day meditating on each one of his roads and learning about him. So I'm not going to share all my experience with him right now, but I am going to share one of my major experiences that I've learned from him, because I think it really will help people have some clarity of your existence and what's going on this planet right now. I'm going to try to simplify it because I don't want to confuse anybody. So I'm going to show you an image real quick of basically of what Eshu has showed me. So I asked Eshu, because you could ask Eshu any questions in regards to the future and stuff like in the universe and stuff like that. So I asked Eshu about what does the future hold for us, as in we keep getting all these stories about the end of the world and all this kind of stuff. So this is what he told me. And I'm going to tell you something that probably a lot of you aren't going to like. And it's not going to be anything that you think I'm going to say. So this is the answer that he gave me. He taught me the concept of collective conscious, which I was already aware of it before I spoke to him, but he gave me way more clarity on what that means. So if you want to know, let's say the concept, everyone's always worried about, oh, it's the end of the world, it's the end of times, oh my God, everybody's scared. So if you want answers in regards to that concept, for example, this is what he said to me. So I'll show you an image really quick of a visual of kind of, so you can kind of understand what I'm saying, okay? So this is what he showed me. I'm going to explain to you what it is, all right? So if you can see this image right here, let's just say this is now, okay? Let's just say this is the future over here, or this is the future, or this is the future. So what this is right here is actually what we call collective consciousness. Therefore, what we will happen, we actually help create it whether we want to or not. If you're a conscious person, I don't know if you've heard of this, but there's a major saying in a conscious group that what you resist persists. Because everything in the universe and universal law, everything has its opposites. Therefore, whatever you focus on will help create. And that actually also counts what you resist. Because if you're constantly resisting something, that means you're still focusing on it, whether you like it or not. Just because you are having negative feelings in regards to an outcome, it doesn't mean you're not focused on it. So a focused attention is a focused attention, regardless of your being positive or negative about it. Therefore, what you resist persists, because if you're constantly resisting something, that means you're focusing on that which you resist. See what I'm saying? So therefore, this is the image of collective conscious. Therefore, if the world was going to end, let's say, for example, centuries or years and years and years before, after your human experience, you as a free soul has a choice to be part of whatever collective conscious that you want to be a part of. Because the universe is abundant, therefore there are abundant options. Therefore, you have the choice to be a part of abundant options. But understand the concept that when you are in a dimension, as in the dimension you are in now, you are in a physical dimension. Therefore, if you want to change this physical realm of collective consciousness that you are in now, the more collective conscious there is that's collecting together, like, for example, if only 5 people believe in something, it's going to be much weaker than if 5 million people believe in something. You see what I'm saying? So, therefore, if you live on a planet that has millions and billions of people believing in one thing, and you are part of the group, which is this group right here, see these lines right here, that believe in something else, you have a higher chance of still getting sucked into a collective consciousness of this, for example, this result if you're dwelling in this area of consciousness. I hope, I'm trying to explain in simple terms. I hope you guys are understanding. But so therefore, what I'm saying is, you're in a collective conscious right now in this physical realm. If you want to completely leave it behind, all the way behind, you're going to have to shed your body, because you chose to be in this point of life. You chose to be in this body. You chose to be here at this time on this planet. Therefore, you are choosing this collective conscious that you are in. See what I'm saying? So as in your personal life, you could choose which way you want to go, because that is just your tiny little life compared to the massive amount of lives that are existing on this planet right now that we live on. So of course, you could kind of change your life around your life. But if you want to change the outcome of the whole entire planet for existence, you have to be able to help create a collective conscious that believes in a different outcome. You see what I'm saying? So we are being manipulated through TV, media, radio, peers, books, stuff like that, to create a specific outcome for who we call the elites, who would like to stay in control of this realm, stay in control of this planet, stay in control of our energy, our souls, etc. Therefore, if you want to leave that realm, you would have to collectively get other people to believe in that level of consciousness as well, whether they're mindful of it or not. Because a lot of the things that we believe is actually very subconscious, and it's actually our subconscious mind that creates a good majority of our habits in our life and the path that we walk more than our conscious mind. Therefore, a lot of things that are happening in this planet right now, the way people are living, the way people act is actually very subconscious. Therefore, that's why they manipulate us through messages as in like billboards, TV, radio, sound, stuff like that, to create a collective conscious to help create whatever outcome that they want to create. Therefore, the whole concept of ascending beyond that is to be able to wake up and see the illusion and be away from it, so you don't have to be part of that collective conscious. So therefore, if you have any questions on will they work like this or this or this or that, it really depends on what level of consciousness or what collective consciousness you want to be a part of. Because the chances of the world ending right here at this lifetime is very slim to none. So for you to be involved in a concept like that, you would have to come here another life to experience that. Or you would be on the other side experiencing it from a spiritual level, because you still are choosing to be part of that collective conscious. See what I'm saying? So this is why we are going through a phase called the time of the awakening, because we are starting to wake up out of the illusion and wake up out of the collective consciousness that has been created since day one, since the day we were born, and for centuries in our family line and our ancestry line, before we ever existed physically, that our ancestors have been doing with the same thing. And I'm just going to touch base on this really quick. I'm not going to get too much into it, but this is why I like to share information, or why I shared a video recently on our ancestors, because those habits and those false beliefs still live within us, within our genes, through our ancestry line, due to collective consciousness, or due to collective illusion that was embedded into us and into our ancestors and so on for many, 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 many years. So that is something that Elegba has taught me. So that being said, know if you do any work with Elegba or Eshu and you ask any questions in regards to what's going on here, the number one reason why you won't get an answer, or you might get it, or you might not be able to mentally handle the answer, is because you're not asking the right questions. Something I've realized is a lot of people ask questions about souls and about the universe and stuff, but they're coming from a very human, physical perspective. And if you want to understand the universe and understand the concept of collective consciousness and why we are here, you're going to have to leave your physical illusion, as in pull away from your human concept, which we like to do, but we are in the day of the awakening, or we are in the time of awakening and in the time of knowledge. Therefore, the more you back up away from the situation, as in stop watching so much TV, stop believing the media, you will be able to pull away from that collective conscious, so you could see beyond whatever the collective consciousness around you is believing. And that's the whole point of ascending beyond the illusion on this planet as we speak, with the pandemic and everything like that. So how do you know Eshu is around? Number one reason to know, if you see a lot of people wearing his colors like red and black, either standing at doorways or standing at four-way stops, crossroads basically, then you know he's around. The person who's ever contacted Eshu and fed Eshu will always say, I keep noticing these people standing at the corners of the road, because that's basically him communicating with you and letting you know that, hey, either A, he wants you to communicate, or B, he's just letting you know he's around, or C, he's letting you know that whatever work that you did with him is actually working and you got his attention. So another way you can know is sometimes people will actually approach you on the streets while you're walking wearing his colors. And so Eshu energy is kind of like that crazy kind of. And have you ever had somebody approach you before who seemed like they were kind of weird and off, but for some reason when they spoke, everything they said made complete sense and was super deep? That's Eshu energy. That's the type of energy that you will notice that is around you if you work with a lot of Eshu, a Legba, rituals or offers and stuff like that. And because he is a Crossroad deity, he's also associated with other Crossroad deities. So if you practice Kemeticism, you'll notice that if you were to summon any Crossroad deities like Anpu, other words, Anubis, or Sobek, in the Kemetic tradition, you'll realize you're going to end up summoning the same type of energy, because that's how Crossroad deity energy kind of is, or doorkeeper deity energy is. Just a heads up so you know what to expect. Now, if you do end up doing a lot of work with Eshu, and you feel like his energy is too hot, or not hot, but too much for you to handle, as in you're attracting too many of these type of people into your life that you're running into, it's good to kind of splash water at the crossroads to kind of calm that energy down, and just kind of say cool Eshu, cool roads, cool streets, cool home, stuff like that. You just take water and splash it on the ground, and it'll kind of help calm that energy down, so you can do work with Eshu without constantly attracting Eshu type people into your life if it's too much for you to handle. So let's move on to Papa Legba really quick from the show American Horror Story. So I like this show. I think it's awesome. Supposedly every single season is kind of like it has a different storyline to it, but it's supposed to be kind of like a scary kind of setup. I'm not sure if any of you watch it, but there is an episode that's actually currently on Netflix right now that you can watch it on this season right now, where they had Papa Legba show up on one of the shows. So just to let you know, I want to bring this up because a lot of times Papa Legba is portrayed incorrectly. So I'm going to use this time to be able to share information with you on how some of it may be a little bit accurate, but more inaccurate. So Papa Legba is Eshu, or Elegba. Papa Legba is actually known to be a Vodun or voodoo version of Eshu. What this means is people who practice Vodun or voodoo, instead of speaking to Eshu or calling on Eshu, they tend to call on Papa Legba. What this means is Papa Legba is Eshu, and his name is not only different, but his energy is a tad different. So Eshu has so many different roadways. Papa Legba is one of his roadways. So on the show on American Horror Story, this is what they stated on the show. They said that Papa Legba is the doorkeeper to hell. Of course, Americans and Hollywood loves to demonize African culture, so let's correct that really quick. Papa Legba is not the doorkeeper to hell, okay? Papa Legba is the doorkeeper to everything. As in everything. As in communication, opportunities, dimensions, realization, everything. He is the doorkeeper to heaven, to the heavens, whatever you want to call it, higher dimensions, low dimensions, everything in between. He is a doorkeeper to all and everything. So when American Horror Story said Papa Legba was a doorkeeper to hell, they were inaccurate partially because he can be the doorkeeper to hell, but that's only because he's a doorkeeper to everything, as in the whole entire universe. Just so you know that. So Papa Legba, that name, if you were to speak to this version of Eshu, he is a little more temperamental than the regular Eshu, because there are different roadways to Eshu, and I'm going to explain that here in a moment. So please be mindful. There is a lot of information online going around about Papa Legba and how to summon him and how to talk to him. Please don't be ignorant and try to summon a spirit that you have no experience with, which is Papa Legba. So my advice to you, if you would like to learn how to work with this doorkeeper, work with Eshu. Just Eshu, and call him by that name, Eshu, or just Elegba. And the reason why is because this version of Eshu has a different personality and different traits as the Papa Legba version of Eshu. Okay, so if you were to ever decide to work with Eshu, be sure to work with Eshu and not Papa Legba. Not saying you should never work with Papa Legba, because I do not know your path, I don't know your soul journey and your purpose. But my advice to you is, if you are just starting out, it is best to speak to Eshu first. And the only reason why you would need to summon Papa Legba is if A, Papa Legba approached you and told you, because it's part of your soul's path, let's say, or B, you are actually practicing Vodun or Voodoo, because Papa Legba is the door opener for the Loa spirits. If you would like to make any offers to Loa, he is the one that actually needs to be fed, because like how I said earlier, Eshu always eats first before any of the Orishas. The Loa spirits are also Orishas. So therefore, Papa Legba is the one that a lot of people who work with Loa tend to speak to Papa Legba to open those doorways of communication and to make sure that the Loa gets the offers and clear communication and whatnot. So this is just some basic information on Papa Legba and the difference between him and Elegba and Eshu. Okay. So speaking of roads to Eshu, I am actually offering a class to teach people how to work with Eshu. So just let you know, this is for non-initiates. Therefore, if you want to know way more information on very specific offers to give, other than the basic food offers that I usually mention on a lot of my videos, you would need to get initiated, and you would have to have a right to be able to be initiated into the secrets of Eshu, as in it has to be part of your soul purpose. Basically what this means is you would have to get a reading to find out if this is really the road you're supposed to be on. But everybody could work with Obi. When I say Obi, I mean, I'm going to show you a picture real quick. Obi is basically a coconut that I would consecrate for you if you would like to learn how to work with Elegba or Obi. They call Obi, the coconut name is actually Obi, which is Elegba basically. So you could communicate with Eshu, Elegba, through the coconut instead of going to the Crossroad. And this way what it does is it consecrates the energy of Eshu, Elegba, into the coconut. Obi is basically what that does. So I'm actually teaching people how to do that. You do not have to be initiated to learn how to work with basic Obi. It's just a coconut. I will consecrate it for you. And I am offering classes to teach people how to work with all the different roads. There's multiple roads of Eshu. And this way you will know exactly which name to call, what offers to give, and what their energy is like. But please know the difference between initiated information and non-initiate information. So if you would like to learn how to work with Eshu, just to let you know, anybody who befriends Eshu could have whatever they want. Now please do not get courses like this because you just want to have whatever you want, because Eshu loves to mess with people with a whole lot of ego. So if you have a lot of ego and pride and have bad intentions in working with Eshu, I will know, because I will be able to divine basically by throwing another thing which we call Obi, which is basically these shells right here, to communicate with him. So if you do want to learn how to work with Eshu, Elegba, Obi, let me know, shoot me a message, and I will teach you how to do it. I will not only teach you all the different roads of Eshu, I will teach you all the energy of these different Eshus, and how to basically toss Obi shells so you can communicate to the other side. And I will consecrate an Obi coconut for you, as in this right here for you. But just know, if you do want to work with Eshu, everybody cannot work with him. You have to have permission from Elegba. Therefore, if you are interested, I would have to divine and ask Elegba if you can or can't work with him. And if you can, usually the answer I get from Elegba is majority of the time a yes, but. What this means is, if you would like to learn how to work with Elegba, you need to make some sacrifices before. As in, you need to give some offers, you need to show some kind of characteristic to him that if you were to have an Obi in your home, that you would be responsible with it or with him, as in you're not going to treat it like it's a decoration, and you're not going to let it fall or let people trip over it, or you're not going to ignore it, and you're going to respect it as if it is another soul in your home. So if you do want to learn how to work with a Legba, and if you're interested, most likely if you're interested, it means you're supposed to work with them anyways. So please shoot me a message, and what I'll do is do a reading with the OB shells to find out how a Legba feels working with you. And I was charging this class for $75, but I'm going to be real with you. On my other video I made when I was talking about a Legba, I'm going to raise the price up to $200. And the reason why I'm going to is because it consists of a full reading. It consists of all the offers that you need to make to be able to bring balance into your life, so you can make so you can have work with a Legba. And also because it takes a very, very long time for me to teach you all these roads of Eshu. Now, I'm not going to teach you every single road of Eshu. I'm going to teach you, but I am going to teach you a lot. Somewhere between around 20 roads of Eshu. So if you would like to learn this, go ahead and shoot me a message and let me know. It does cost $200, but trust me, it'll be worth your money, and Eshu will bring you much success in your life as long as you know how to respect him, and you know how to treat him, and you know how to work with him. He will not only help you with money, he could help you with business, he could help you with relationships, he could help you with basically anything, a higher understanding of the universe and stuff like that. So if you would like to learn how to work with a Legba and have some more doors open up for you, and also know if you do have an Elegba, you can do readings for other people and ask a Legba about other people as well. So if you would like to learn how to do this kind of stuff, go ahead and shoot me a message and let me know. And other than that, I think that's all the information I have. Yeah, so that's all the information I have. I hope everybody enjoyed this message. I know the makeup's kind of like, oh my god, what's she wearing? But hey, check out the show that I'm talking about, the version of Papa Legba on American Horror Stories. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's on Netflix right now. If you have Netflix, you go on there and go find it right now. That's why I'm wearing this makeup. But I hope everybody has way more knowledge on Elegba. I just want to let you know, Elegba is very fun. Please don't let Hollywood and washout type of people convince you that Elegba is scary and all that kind of stuff. He's actually very fun to work with. He teaches you so much stuff, and he is a joy to have around. His energy is so strong. You'll be able to feel his presence in your home. He will protect you from all kinds of chaos. He will keep chaos away from you in your life. So please know, anybody who demonizes Elegba, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, okay? He's a very fun spirit. He will not only open doors with you, but he will also fix your relationships and bring you money and wealth and all kinds of things. So that being said, I hope everybody is having a conscious evening. Namaste and Hotep. Peace.